Have you ever had a dream that felt so incredibly vivid, so real, that you woke up confused, questioning where the dream ended and reality began? Now, what if I told you that you weren't the only one having that dream? What if someone you know, or even a complete stranger halfway across the world, had a strikingly similar experience on the same night? Most of us would brush it off as a strange coincidence, a quirk of the human mind. But what if it is not a coincidence at all? What if your dreams aren't just random firings of neurons confined to your own head? What if the collective dreams of humanity are secretly, subtly, shaping the world around us right now? We're about to dive deep into the mind-bending concept that shared dream states could be manifesting real-world outcomes. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about reality, because we're going beyond individual manifestation. Forget what you've heard about vision boards and personal affirmations for a moment. We're talking about a global mind melt. Imagine millions of people dreaming about the same thing, whether it's peace, a technological breakthrough, or even a shared fear. Could that concentrated subconscious energy actually bleed into our waking world and physically alter it? This isn't just a fantasy or a science fiction plot. We're going to explore some shocking historical accounts and cutting-edge research that suggest our collective subconscious might just be the ultimate hidden architect of our reality. So get ready to rethink your nightly slumber, because it might be far more powerful than you've ever imagined. To start, let's look at the concept of the collective unconscious, a term famously coined by the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung. Jung proposed that beyond our personal unconscious, which is filled with our own repressed memories and experiences, there exists a deeper layer. This collective unconscious is a shared reservoir of experiences, myths, and archetypes inherited from our ancestors. Think of it like a psychic internet that all of humanity is connected to. It's the reason why so many cultures, separated by vast oceans and thousands of years, have similar myths, symbols, and creation stories. The Great Flood, the hero's journey, the wise old man. These aren't just random stories. They are archetypes, universal patterns that emerge from this shared psychic well. So, if we are all connected on this deep, subconscious level, what happens when we sleep? Our conscious minds, with all their logic and skepticism, power down. We enter the realm of dreams, a world where the rules of physics and reason no longer apply. This is the playground of the subconscious. Jung believed that in our dreams, we tap directly into this collective unconscious. It's a time when our individual minds can access this vast, shared database of human experience. This brings us to the core of our question. If we all swimming in the same psychic ocean, when we dream, can our collective thoughts and emotions in that state create ripples that become waves in the physical world? Let's consider some anecdotal evidence. Throughout history, there have been numerous accounts of mass premonitions or shared dreams preceding major events. One of the most famous examples surrounds the Aberfan disaster in 1966 in Wales. A colossal pile of mining waste collapsed and slid down a mountainside, engulfing a primary school and several houses, tragically taking the lives of 116 children and 28 adults. In the aftermath, a British psychiatrist named John Barker became fascinated by reports that many people had seemingly dreamt of the disaster before it happened. He collaborated with a newspaper to collect these premonitions. He received hundreds of letters, but he focused on 76 that seemed particularly credible. Out of those 24, described a black avalanche or dark mass descending upon a Welsh valley, specifically involving children. These dreams weren't from people in Aberfan alone. They came from all over the UK. People with no connection to the village dreamt of screaming children, buildings being buried, and a sense of overwhelming tragedy. Could this have been a case of mass, collective precognition, or dozens of sensitive individuals tapping into a shared, preconscious awareness of the impending event? Skeptics might argue it's just retrofitting memories or coincidence, but the sheer volume and specificity of the accounts are hard to dismiss entirely. It suggests that on some level, a shared warning was being broadcast through the collective dreamscape. Let's fast forward to a more modern context. Think about the Global Consciousness Project at Princeton University. For decades, this experiment has been monitoring a network of random number generators placed around the world. The theory is that if human consciousness becomes coherent and focused, say during a major global event, it might affect the output of these machines, making them less random. The project has found statistically significant deviations from randomness during events like the 9/11 attacks, major natural disasters, and even global meditations. While this project measures waking consciousness, it supports the underlying idea that our minds, when synchronized, can produce a measurable effect on the physical world. Now, imagine the potential power if this synchronization happens, not just during a waking event, but in the unfiltered, highly creative, and emotionally charged state of dreaming. If a shared fear can ripple through the collective unconscious, what about a shared hope? What about a shared vision for a better future? This is where the concept gets truly exciting. Think about periods of great innovation and artistic flourishing, like the Renaissance or the scientific revolution. These weren't just the work of a few isolated geniuses. They were cultural movements, were a new way of thinking, a new dream for humanity seemed to infect the collective mind. Artists, scientists, and philosophers, often working independently, suddenly began exploring similar themes and ideas, pushing humanity forward. Was this purely a result of improved communication and social factors, or was there also a subconscious, collective dream of progress and discovery that was fueling this creative fire? Modern physics might even offer a theoretical framework for how this could be possible. Quantum mechanics has shown us a universe that is far stranger and more interconnected than our classical senses perceive. Concepts like quantum entanglement, what Einstein called spooky action at a distance, show that two particles can be linked in such a way that the state of one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are. If the universe is fundamentally interconnected at this subatomic level, is it such a stretch to think that consciousness, which is after all an emergent property of the matter in our brains, might also be interconnected in ways we don't yet understand? Perhaps our brains, when in the dream state, are more attuned to these subtle quantum connections, allowing for a flow of information and influence across the collective. This idea is also explored in many spiritual and esoteric traditions. Indigenous cultures around the world have long believed in the power of dreaming. For many, like the Aboriginal people of Australia, the dream time is not just a time of sleep, but a fundamental dimension of reality that underpins our waking world. Through specific rituals and dream practices, they believe they can interact with this foundational reality, communicate with ancestors, and even influence the health of their community and the land. They don't see a hard line between the dream world and the real world. They are two sides of the same coin. So, how can we apply this in our own lives? If our collective dreams have power, it means that the things we focus on, the emotions we cultivate, and the visions we hold for the future, even in our sleep, matter. It suggests that cultivating positive, hopeful, and creative thoughts isn't just a personal wellness practice. It could be a contribution to a more positive, collective reality. Imagine if millions of people started consciously setting an intention before sleep to dream of a peaceful, sustainable, and collaborative world. According to the theories we've explored, this coordinated, positive dreaming could create a powerful current in the collective unconscious, a current that might just be strong enough to nudge our waking world in that direction. Of course, we are in the realm of theory and speculation here. There is no definitive, peer-reviewed scientific proof that your dream about flying last night directly contributed to the development of a new aircraft. Science is still grappling with the very nature of consciousness itself, let alone its collective and dream state capabilities. But the absence of proof is not the proof of absence. The anecdotal evidence, the philosophical arguments, and the hints from quantum physics and global consciousness research all point to a fascinating and empowering possibility that we are not just passive observers of reality, but active co-creators, both awake and asleep. The world we see around us is, in many ways, a manifestation of our collective beliefs, fears, and desires. Our economic systems, our political structures, our societies, they are all built on shared stories and agreements. They are, in a sense, a waking dream we've all agreed to participate in. If we can create these complex structures with our waking, conscious minds, think of the potential held within our collective subconscious, the vast, untapped power of the human dreamscape. The next time you have a dream, especially one that feels significant or is shared by others, don't be so quick to dismiss it. It might be more than just a meaningless mental movie. It might be a message from the collective unconscious. It might be a glimpse into a potential future. And it might be your own unique contribution to the grand, ongoing dream that is shaping our shared reality. The world of tomorrow might literally be built from the dreams of today. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the mysteries of the mind. If you've found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. What are your thoughts? Have you ever had a shared dream? Let me know in the comments below. I read every one of them. Until next time, sleep well and dream big.